All right, demo day. This is the day that most people are pretty anticipating to be a very difficult day. It's actually one of the parts that I really despise the most. It's the hardest part of the project in a lot of ways, getting all of this stuff out of here. It's also the day that you end up uncovering all the additional issues that you're going to have to solve and fix. But when it comes to demo, I really do recommend, especially in an old bathroom, to gut it all the way down to the studs, inspect that electrical, inspect that plumbing, and really evaluate what needs to be done to make your bathroom a very sustainable place. You don't want to be putting tens of thousands of dollars over top of old plumbing or rotten framing. You want to be able to start from the foundation and work your way up. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this tub surround. This is actually somewhat new, and I mean, not new. I mean, it's probably less than 10 years old that I did this. Again, not very proud of the work that I did here. This was, one of the things about rentals is that you're constantly never wanting to do anything to them. Once they're rented out, that's great. But even somebody like myself who can do everything on the project or on the house, I just never come over here to maintenance the house when it's rented out. It's just, it's problematic trying to get the tenants to organize with them. And then if they're living here, it's just, I find it to be stressful. So most of the time when somebody moves out, I just do a quick renovation so it looks new and clean and move somebody in there. But I did this tub surround, and I'm pretty sure I used the newer products. I think I used the Wedi tub surround kit back there. But one of the things I'm really disappointed with is the grout. I used this stuff called Quartz Lock. It's a pre-mixed grout, and it didn't hold up very well. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that no one cleaned this bathroom. I doubt that anybody even cleaned this in the 7 years that they were living here, or how many, I can't remember how many years. But regardless, this is supposed to be a stain resistant grout that doesn't get stained. Unfortunately, over the years, it's just turned into mold. I mean, you could probably maybe get a steam cleaning service to get it out of there. But right at this point, like if I were to try to salvage this, I'd be just regrouting the shower. I'd be scraping this all out and regrouting it because I don't think you'll ever get this back to a nice clean look. The other problem with this bathroom is just the fact that the humidity levels in here were just out of control. The vent fan didn't work very well. So a lot of these mold issues are all just from that. When I took a shower, nothing ever dried. So anyways, we're gonna get rid of this. I've never actually torn out newer backerboard. I've never torn out any foam backerboard. So we'll see how difficult that really is to remove. So, all right, so first thing we need to do is just remove this cover. And again, I'm replacing all the plumbing, so I really don't care but necessarily what happens to this, just as long as I can get it apart. And I might even use a Sawzall. All right, and then this was kind of one of my ideas to be able to keep this nice and open in this bathroom. Because if I put a wall here, there used to be an existing wall here, as you can see, and that really enclosed the toilet space. That was a real problem. One thing I want to mention is that if you ever have a toilet space, you really need about 48 inches of space from the back of the toilet to the front. And even then, it still feels really crammed. But having a wall right here in front of you really made this uncomfortable. The other thing that was an issue is that my toilet was 11.5 inches away from the wall. So when you sat on this thing, you're kind of crammed in there. But anyways, this I thought was a decent idea, just putting a piece of glass and having a top rail on it. This is basically just a regular shower rod with an anchor on this. So this it worked out well. I think it worked out well. But again, this layout really stinks and I really just want to get rid of it. All right, so I probably silicone the hell out of this. Let's see if we can pull this out of here. There we go. I doubt I'll be reusing this. These things are horrible, by the way. They always leak. Nothing ever shuts off on them. I do not advise this. I mean, these things work for maybe the month that you first buy it, but then afterwards they always leak. So you want to get something that has a separate diverter on it. But what I'm going to do, again, everything's coming down. I'm just going to sawzall this out, start pulling this wall apart. I don't know how, it looks like I did a decent job on putting that wall together. So, but at least try to get this back wall moving here first. Well, that's kind of nice. It's definitely going to make this a lot brighter in here. Boy, I really put this wall together. Man, it's really in there. So you can see the Wedi board I have on there, the waterproof backerboard. I guess that's the way it'll come off. Most of these foam backer boards, you'll be able to just take it off towel by towel because it's all bonded so well to that. So I guess these newer boards are not going to be a difficult thing to remove someday. I mean, it just breaks in half there. It's kind of nice actually. Much easier than hardy backer. Suppose we can go ahead and reuse that. That nice wallpaper. Definitely nice wallpaper. At least remove the drain assembly. This is an old cheapie. It's already rusting on the inside too. Yeah. Lasted 20 years. Guess you can't complain about that. It's just that thin. Can't see that here because I'm right below the camera. We have this old metal thin tile. Just a little bit of stuff.
You did it.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of layers.
That's a lot of crap. Wow. Hell, I gotta get this stuff out of here now. And then the next part is the ceiling, but I don't know if we'll get to that today or not. See how long this takes to get rid of all this stuff.
Did you see I tried to save your cardboard, honey?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm gonna have to just go outside and get this better.
Yeah, see you don't.
Okay. All right, so that's the end of day one. Still got the ceiling, we still got the floor. Definitely pace yourself with this. This was a mess. As you could tell, there was 3 or 4 layers to this whole thing, and the plaster and lath, along with the blown insulation, definitely doesn't make this any fun. So tomorrow, we'll continue the demo so that we can see everything that we need to do and start with that plumbing and electric.